now.
Thank you, Katie. Howdy, Agnes. My name is Misty Davis, and I am the program manager of the Texas A&M University at Qatar Support Office. Today, I have with me Ms. Sasha Ray Brown, who is my assistant in the office, and we're going to share a little bit with you about our internship opportunities that we're hopeful to be opening up for summer 2021. So first of all, many of you may be wondering, where is Qatar located? And so if you look at this map, it is that little purple piece that is sticking out. So the first thing a lot of people think is it safe? It's in the Middle East. That's a big concern that a lot of students have, as well as parents. So what we always like to share with people is the Global Peace Index and how Qatar ranks versus the United States, just to kind of give you a little perspective. And so that ranking actually has Qatar at number 27, the United States at 121, and Afghanistan at 163. So you can see that we're a little higher on that list than the United States. That kind of gives you an idea of the level of safety. I can personally tell you when I visit Qatar that I feel very safe. I never worry about having to clutch my purse or walking around. And a lot of times people will, especially in the heat of summer, they'll drive their cars, they'll park them, leave them running with the keys in, and will go into the store real quick and come back out, and they never have to worry about their cars. One thing I do want to share is right now, if you were to look at the travel advisory that we have posted here, we are currently listed at a level 3 because of COVID-19. Right now, it is not possible for United States citizens or most citizens that do not already have a residence permit to enter. So I would like to preface that the programs that we're going to discuss right now for spring 2021 have currently been canceled. But like I said, we're going to continue monitoring the situation and hopefully be able to open these opportunities up starting for summer 2021. So who's eligible to apply? So as long as you're in good standing with the university and you've completed your sophomore year and you have a 3.0, you're eligible to apply for any of these internships as they are applicable to you. So we have two different types of internship opportunities. One is our professional internship. This is where students have a chance to go and practice various business skills in the different operation units that we have at TAMUQ. These include the business finance, human resources, information technology, management, marketing, communications, and payroll. This past spring 2020, we did have a few interns in our first pilot of this program that really enjoyed the time that they did get to spend there before we had to send them home due to COVID-19. So we're hopeful that we'll continue this program and have more students that are interested in building their professional skills at our campus. As part of this professional internship, it is paid. It is a paid internship. Generally, in the pilot program, we did $11 an hour, and Qatar runs a little different hours and days than here in College Station. So the workday in Qatar is actually Sunday to Thursday instead of Monday to Friday, and hours run from 7:30 in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon. All of our interns get placed in on-campus housing. If you check out our resource page that we have on the virtual fair this week, there's actually a YouTube video of one of our female dorms that you can check out and see just how nice the accommodations are. And those are similar to if you're an intern or if you are studying abroad there. This past term, we were able to pay for round-trip economy airfare, and then we handle all of the visa documentation. So you provide us with the X, Y, and Z documents we need, and we help you obtain the documents to enter Qatar. Sorry about that. And the second opportunity is our research internships. So these are typically in the summer. We're hoping that in the future we'll be able to offer them in the fall and spring semesters, but the mass of our students usually go in the summer for this program. And so we have the 4 engineering departments: chemical, electrical, petroleum, and mechanical. However, we're also opening the doors to College of Science and College of Liberal Arts students to be able to participate in research that are going on. Even though most of the time TAMUQ is associated with just engineering because we have those 4 degree programs, we also have faculty that are teaching our science classes and our liberal arts classes that are still conducting research in Qatar. And so we're hoping that in the future we'll be able to have College of Science and College of Liberal Arts also join those internship programs. For on-campus housing, this kind of gives you an idea of what one of the room situations can look like. Generally, we put y'all into single occupancy rooms with a private bathroom. However, a lot of students have voiced that they would really like to have a roommate as well as a kitchen. And so we're looking at moving to those where you have a private bedroom and then you have a shared kitchen in the middle. But that is all up for discussion depending on which semester you're going and what is available. So like I said before, please keep in mind that COVID-19 has really jostled things up a little bit. And so right now we don't have active deadlines for these programs, but keep an eye out on our social media pages that we'll be sharing with you at the end of the presentation. Those are the best spots to keep in touch with us to be sure that you're informed about everything going on. So in Cutler, a lot of times students think the only thing to do is go ride a camel or hang out in the sand. And while there's some really cool opportunities to do activities in the desert, there's a lot of other things for you to check out as well. We have several museums throughout the country that are amazing and beautiful. Unfortunately, during my trip, I didn't get to go to the National Museum of Qatar, but one of the most unique things about it is when you view it from the top, it actually looks like a beautiful desert rose. So it's made with architecture consciously to represent the country as well as the desert. There's dune bashing, like we discussed. That's definitely something students partake. We don't take you to do that because it's a little bit dangerous sometimes, but it's something a lot of students go and do and really enjoy. And then we have doubt boat trips. So a lot of times students will really enjoy going out on the water on boats, having a little barbecue. The great thing about these doubt boats is they're not just something fun to do, but they're a little part of the Cutler history. These boats were actually used previously to collect pearls out in the ocean. And those of you who are big football fans, soccer fans, however you like to call it, we are going to be hosting the 2022 FIFA World Cup, which we're super excited about. There have been several stadiums across Doha that have been built all sustainably. Some of them are even made to take apart and be able to ship to other countries so they can donate those for future events. And what's so great is that we actually have one of the largest stadiums within Education City where Texas A&M University at Cutler is located. And another great part about how much we're advancing and how much Doha is growing is they recently opened within the last year the Cutler Metro. And so what's beautiful about it is now you can get basically anywhere from the Cutler campus. So if you'll see on this map, here it says Qatar National Library. That is actually just across the street and down a little bit from the Texas A&M University at Cutler building. And so it's really convenient for you to be able to go hop on the metro. It's super cheap and you can get all across the city to the different museums, the malls, the Souk Waqif, and other entertainment and food that you can get to very easily. So Sasha?
Oh, sorry. So this is the markets in Qatar. So like Misty mentioned, there's the Souk Waqif, which is the oldest market that they have. It is known, well, it's well known in Qatar because it's a traditional Arab market where you'd see a lot of traditional Arab food, cafes, and shops. What does our campus look like? So this is what TAMUQ looks like as soon as you enter. This is the building. This is what it's known for. The courtyard, there's a lot of greenery. So this is actually located in the center. A lot of the students like to go and kind of just hang out. They go eat lunch. They have meetings, stuff like that. Apologies, sorry. I can't leave my dog anywhere. This is what the Qatar National Library looks like. It's beautiful, it's huge. And like Misty said, this is where the metro would leave you, and this is kind of what the inside looks like.
And the cool thing about the Qatar National Library is that there's actually a mechanism that they put the books in that will transport it back to the shelf it's supposed to be on and re-shelf the book. So it's not only beautiful, but it's also very technologically advanced.
So now this is our social media page. These are pictures of previous Aggies that have gone to Qatar. We're actually having a giveaway going on right now that will be lasting until Monday. So if you'd like to go figure more about that, there's our Instagram and our Facebook, as well as our TSO website if you have any more questions or you're more curious about what we offer. Scheduling an appointment. So the biggest thing about getting here is going onto your Howdy portal and finding the navigate icon. Other than that, we have listed out exactly step by step on how to contact us, from clicking each button and figuring out who to talk to. So Misty will be on there, and all you have to do is select a time and a date and then confirm your appointment. If you have any more questions, please reach out to Misty or myself, and we're here to answer anything and just kind of help you figure out your journey, and hopefully you'll be able to go with us to Qatar.
Wonderful. Thank you both so much. A few questions. One question is, how many students, I know right now, like you said, it's COVID, so things are not normal, but in general, how many students from Texas A&M generally go to Qatar in the fall, the spring, and then also the summer?
So in the fall and spring, our big number has been 7 to 10, and that's typically how many we're sending. And generally those are only engineering students. However, we're trying to open our doors to obviously all of the colleges across the campus. So we're hoping that number is going to increase as we do that. In the summer, we typically have a lot more. So we may send closer to 20 or 25 in terms of study abroad and the different internships that we discussed today. So it's a greater number in the summer. In my opinion, what's really great about going in the fall and spring versus maybe the summertime is that you get an extended period of time with your faculty members if you're studying abroad. And what's great about that is you get that one-on-one experience that maybe you don't get in the classroom of 50 or 60 students here. And so there's a huge advantage to doing that. You can do that in the summer as well, but it's going to be obviously for a condensed period of time. And the internships are throughout just the summer, generally for engineers, and then we also have opportunities hopefully in the fall and spring for liberal arts and College of Science. So lots of new things coming up, lots of new opportunities once we can open our doors back again to get our numbers going, and I'm excited to have more students going back and forth between the two campuses again.
Great, we have a lot more questions. Next question, do we contact Qatar advisors or College Station advisors for more information?
So if you're looking for information on internship programs, be sure you reach out to me and Sasha. We can get the appropriate information for you based on what type of internship you're interested in. If you're looking more towards the study abroad side of things, then please reach out to us as well first. And then depending on academically where you are, we can kind of give you some guidelines or give you some thoughts as to what you might be looking at. And then we would want you to work with your academic advisor locally here in College Station to help navigate what courses you might want to register in, or how that internship might apply to your degree program.
Great. Another question. How many semesters could I spend in Qatar? So maybe, is there a maximum number of semesters that you can go?
At this time, we actually haven't explored that question. I know generally for exchanges, which I know it's A&M and A&M, they want you to have at least 51% of your course credit coming from here in College Station. We haven't had many students go beyond maybe a spring and a summer semester, so that would be something we could explore independently with each student.
Great. Another question, how hard or easy is it to get an internship? And how about scheduling classes around the study abroad?
You mean around the internship? Sorry.
The person had two questions. So the first was, how hard or easy is it to get an internship?
So in terms of internship, it's really dependent on how many proposals we get from faculty members. So when it comes to the process, what we normally do is we do a request for proposals where we ask faculty members to tell us what they're going to be doing, kind of the student they're looking for, and the skills that that student needs. So it's very dependent on what proposals we get, what kind of students, and how many students we're going to be looking for. So it's hard to say whether it's hard or easy. It's really almost, I don't want to say a luck of a draw, but it's really dependent on which proposals we get and what kind of students we have applying.
Sure, finding that right match.
Absolutely. because we
Great.
want the student as well as the faculty member to be happy with the situation. We never want to set a student up for failure because they don't fit what the faculty member needs, and vice versa. We don't want them to be bored to tears because they don't like the research that the faculty member is doing. We want to be sure that we give the student the best experience, whether that's with us or with another opportunity that we can guide them to.
Great. Next question. How difficult or easy is it to enroll in classes at TAMUQ? And then also, if you're doing a summer internship, could you take a course during the summer while you're there?
So in terms of registration, the great thing about TAMUQ is we plan everything well in advance for everyone that's going to go study abroad. So from the beginning, we have a list of classes that you're interested in taking during that semester, and we have a relatively solid list of classes that are going to occur that semester. So when you look at TAMUQ and opportunities to do the exchange program, if you take a look at the College Station catalog and you see the classes listed in fall and the classes listed in spring, that is typically exactly how TAMUQ is going to have their courses. So unlike College Station, we don't have maybe a usual spring course in the fall. We keep them within the semesters due to our smaller sizes and the need to offer the on-term classes versus the off-term classes. So what I'm saying with that is that we have to be sure that the classes you need in that time span are going to be offered, but at the same time, we're able to plan ahead of time. The academic advisors in Cutler do your registration for you, so you don't even have to fuss with registration. And we make sure you get what you need as long as we're offering it.
Also, when you're looking to get your classes, you can always just meet with me, set up an appointment. I can sit down with you, look at your degree plan if you'd like me to, and figure out what classes they need, and we can look at past ones that they've offered. It's not 100% guaranteed, but it gives you an idea of what to expect. And then from there, we can kind of build it around so you have an idea of what you could potentially take in Qatar.
And as soon as they release the official schedule for Qatar, what we'll do is we'll actually verify that all the classes you need are on that, or if there's one that's missing, we'll see if we can make potential adjustments so that you can continue with the experience. But before you step on that plane, you 100% know what you're taking and what you're going to be getting when you come to TAMUQ.
Also, when you go to TAMUQ, you're also paying A&M tuition. There is no additional fees when it comes to your classes.
So I think that last bit might have clarified this question, but just want to make sure. One student expressed concern if the student went to TAMUQ, would it leave the student a year behind because of the engineering sequence?
So that is part of why we ask students to come and talk to us about all of their questions. We work very closely with each student's academic advisor to ensure they get what they need, because that is the last thing ever. And I think, Katie, you'll speak to this as well. With study abroad, we never want to get a student behind. We always want to keep them on track, help them catch up, or in some cases, help them get ahead of the curve. So the answer is typically no to that. The only reason that you would get behind is just like here in College Station, if you're unsuccessful in passing a class here, you get behind. The same instance could be there as well. And just because it is still A&M, it is still a very rigorous program, and there are still the same expectations. Do keep in mind that there are only the 4 degree programs there for engineering. And so depending on your major, wherever you ETAM into, will depend on how easy or difficult it is to find new classes. However, for most engineering students, we're generally always even able to find them at least 6 or 9 hours for the summer term if we can't get you a whole semester of 12 or 15 hours.
And Misty, that's exactly right. The data or the research actually shows that students who participate in international experiences graduate sooner than their peers. And so that's definitely a myth, is that going abroad will delay your graduation. Last question, I think. How much is housing at TAMUQ?
So as of current, the housing is very dependent on what kind of housing you want. So like I showed you the picture of the 1-bedroom unit, that can be $3,000 for the whole semester. But we have smaller units that are $1,500 to $2,000, depending on if you want to share a room. And in the future, we are looking at our availability to be able to provide housing for students as part of the program to make that more affordable. However, with COVID-19 and a lot of budgetary cuts that have come down, we're having to reevaluate that as of current. Hopefully, maybe in the future, we can offer that though.
That'd be great. So that does bring up one final question. If a student looked at the semester of expenses here in College Station versus the semester of expenses by being in Qatar for a semester, how would those compare to each other?
They would be very comparable, and depending on, sorry, screen, and depending on how much you want to spend or how much you want to go out to eat or where you want to go out to eat, it can even be cheaper. If you think about housing, 3 or 4 months here, if it's $800 a month, that can add up to $3,200, and that's the really nice private room. So housing in a lot of ways is even if we're not providing that for you already. Tuition and fees are going to be the same as if you're studying here. You don't pay TAMUQ, you actually still continue paying College Station. And so that is the beautiful part. If you need books, TAMUQ currently provides all students with their textbooks for their classes. So that can be a great savings. And we help you take care of obtaining the visa. You just have to pay for your passport and all the applicable immigration documents in terms of you yourself personally, but we help you with the Qatar part of it. So, and also when you arrive, we take you on a city tour. We kind of acquaint you with the city to show you what things are going to be like. And there's cultural experiences as well, whether that's going on a Dow boat cruise, going to the museums. And also we try to encourage students to, when possible, travel outside of Qatar during their spring break, or if they have during the fall break that Qatar has, to take those chances to travel, because it is just a quick hop and a jump to a lot of places in Qatar. So relatively, it can be the same as here in College Station or cheaper. It's really dependent on every student. And I think, Katie, you know that every program is different and every student spends a different amount of money on souvenirs, food, and everything. And so it's very dependent on each person and what they want to do.
Right, and just like here on campus, you can live in a modular dorm or you can live in a ramp dorm, right? And the cost is very different. One more question related to cost as well, but scholarships. Do scholarships at A&M apply to going to TAMUQ Qatar? And if so, what scholarships are offered?
So absolutely. So the great thing about this program is it's considered an exchange program, and it is as if you are here at Texas A&M University. So this, just like any other exchange, acts as if you're here, but you're basically transplanting your body to another university to take classes and receive credit. And so the great part of that is you're actually in a placeholder class. So that placeholder makes it look like as if you're here until those courses come back and transfer in. For us, those courses already apply, but for other exchanges, how it works is that that placeholder helps you stay technically here in A&M. And so any scholarships, financial aid that you obtain on a normal semester can apply to this program, as well as additional scholarships and financial aid that is available for study abroad specific. So if you check out ui.tamu.edu, you can go check and see when all of the deadlines are for study abroad specific scholarships, and to see when those deadlines are and when you can apply.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you both for sharing about TAMUQ Qatar and the opportunities for students to do intern research there, and also about the exchanges. We had some great questions, so thank you to everyone that asked such great questions, and I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now.